The revelry of Mardi Gras is in full bloom tonight. As a lifelong resident of South Louisiana, if I know that the parades are rolling to the east, then I'm going west. And if I know that they're rolling to the north, I'm heading south. In other words, I try to stay as far from the decadent debauchery of Mardi Gras as I can. You know, I once suffered from FOMO, the fear of missing out, but that's no longer the case. I don't mind missing out if the fun that I'm to be a part of consists of large crowds of intoxicated people and a rising crime rate in New Orleans. I think I'll pass. I once shared with an out-of-towner who wanted me to describe Mardi Gras in a nutshell. And I said, well, what you see on TV is typical of what happens. Crowds, floats, throws, bands. I said, but try to avoid the French Quarter because it's a different animal there. You will see things in the French Quarter that you spend the next few years and considerable mental health dollars trying to forget. I'll just leave that there and let your imagination be your guide. So tonight I want to talk about the imminence and the inevitability of miscalculation associated with this war that's going on in Eastern Europe. As you know, this channel makes every effort to avoid dealing with or even thinking about the political and social upheaval that is all around us every day of the world. Rather, we want to get on with the privilege of living a relatively stress-free life. Now, when I say stress-free, I don't mean problem-free because everybody has difficulties and challenges and problems. But by placing a guard to the gates of our mind, we can avoid the manipulation and the fear-mongering, the incessant fear-mongering that goes on every day over the airwaves. You have to make an intentional effort, a concerted effort even, to keep out the negative Nancys and the troublemaking Teds. It's easy to do most days, but sometimes things ratchet up like they're doing now. Right now the world has a fever and is getting warmer by the day. So today, well actually last night, North Korea just fired an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile, to the east. And an alliance of Western nations have stripped selected Russian banks of their access to SWIFT. SWIFT is a platform of communication and data exchange that facilitate banking transactions. Well, it's analogous to what happened to Donald Trump when Twitter kicked him off of their platform. He was still able to communicate, but it was hampered, and he could not efficiently communicate to his millions of followers. Russian banks can continue to operate, but they will be like dinosaurs. If you want to kill a snake, you cut off its head. If you want to hinder a war effort, well, you hinder the flow of money. You know, people go berserk when you mess with their money, when you make their money funny. Countries, nonetheless, are people, especially a country like Russia, which is headed by a longtime autocrat and all of his oligarchic friends. You know, that small number of ruling elites that call the shots. Well, they rule because of their access to resources and assets. I think you can see where this is going. Well, this geopolitical problem now has 1,000 moving parts, and each one of those parts are prone to failure. An errant missile, a politician's words causing escalation, sheer human desperation, an overzealous Russian general, or someone saying or doing something that they're not authorized to say or do. These rogue elements and black swan events, some cannot even be predicted. And on top of that, you have the unpredictability of other autocratic nations and autocrats such as Kim Jong-un. So miscalculation is inevitable. Miscalculation is imminent, which is to say, we are about to go into the midnight hour. You see, Putin doesn't have a jumping off point anymore. The train he's on, he's got to ride it. There is no soft landing here. Not for him and not for us. Hey, you remember these lyrics? Well, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. So you can wipe off that grin. I know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. Well, that was Phil Collins in 1981, a song entitled In the Air Tonight. So to the politicians and central bankers, we see you. We know what you're doing. It's all been a pack of lies. You know it, and we know it, and now you know that we know. The world is waking up one person at a time, but waking up nonetheless. And when I say waking up, I don't mean woke to political manipulation. I mean woke to the truth. And you got to search out the truth. Don't just be consumers of it. So, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is to get your house in order. Now, I know you've been hearing that for decades. Some form of this has been going out for the last century. But this time it's different. We have reached critical mass, and there is no turning back. There will never be the Leave It to Beaver days of the 1960s. No, folks, this is now the big league. The geopolitical stakes are very high. But, and this is key, the national debt is even higher. There will be no more bailouts. Only inflation, currency wars, and inevitably world war. I'm not ranting. I try not to rant. But I must say people are feeling the tension, and they themselves are responding to these tensions through road rage, rising crime, mobility, and on and on. Folks are changing jobs left and right, trying to find a soft landing spot. Again, I'm not ranting. I'm just being transparent regarding my concerns. As my preacher says, my pastor says, it's praying time. It is praying time. God, whose name is Jesus, is the answer. And we should be praying for peace and quieter times and such. But just remember this. Prophecy will be fulfilled. And prophetic scripture tells us that the times are changing and the worst is yet to come. I hate to end the video with that somber tone, but so let's just say let's keep looking up and stay positive. And this is Dr. B, your Creole Connection, and we'll catch you in the next video.